The Lexington Park Rotary Club presents Money Matters on Metrocast Channel 10, a program designed to aid in the quest for service above self to our local Southern Maryland community. Hello and welcome to Money Matters, the show where we help make sense of all things financial. Money Matters is brought to you by the Lexington Park Rotary Club. I'm Ed Turbush, your host and chairman of the Financial Literacy Committee, focused on serving the community in a better understanding of financial literacy. Today our topic is understanding the Affordable Care Act. Our local community expert is Dave Winwick. Dave is a healthcare expert and represents Riley Benefits. So Dave, could you tell the audience a little bit more about yourself?
Sure, Ed. Thanks for having me on today. In terms of I'll get into the Affordable Care Act, but I guess a little background on me. I came down here from Annapolis probably 20 years ago at St. Mary's College and fell in love with St. Mary's County, been down here ever since. I've been down here over half my life. I work for a local employee benefits firm. We partner with businesses to design, implement, and manage their benefit programs. But when the healthcare reform law came out in 2010, I said, you know what, I'm going to try to make myself as educated on that as possible to assist my clients. And it's been an interesting ride so far. But I live in Mechanicsville with my wife and my 4-year-old daughter, hi Gabrielle, and my 2-year-old son, hi Luke. They're going to big dividends for that one.
I've been to Dave's house with my family. It's like a national park. There's a lake, there's woods. Me and my wife were born in a city, and it's kind of walking around not really sure what to do out there. But it's awesome. So, and Dave definitely is an expert on the Affordable Care Act. He's somebody who really knows his stuff, so I think this is going to be great. So it's really very complex. There's lots going on. I guess to try to consolidate this into a short period of time for this show, what are some things you think are really important for people to know or understand about the Affordable Care Act?
Be patient. Hopefully by the time this airs, you'll be able to go through the process of the online exchanges of being able to do identity verification, income verification for subsidy purposes, and then plan selection. For individuals that have employer-sponsored plans, if your employer-sponsored plan meets the minimum essential health benefits, not to get too technical, but you can keep that plan and you will have viable coverage. I guess the big thing is every U.S. citizen is required to have health care as of January 1st, 2014. The way you prove that is on your tax return. So on your tax return, you're going to have to prove that, or you're going to pay a penalty of $95 or a maximum of $285, which is 1% of your income, if you can't prove that you have a qualified health insurance plan in your 2014 tax returns.
So the way that they monitor this or regulate this is through tax returns?
Correct, for the income penalty, yes, for the income penalty purposes.
So for a lot of people out there, I imagine that they really don't do anything different than they've done in the past. They simply just, during open enrollment, they pick the plan they're going to have for 2014, and things go on like normal. Is that accurate?
It is accurate, because what you're looking at for the healthcare reform is you want to make sure you have a compliant plan. And that compliance, usually most employer plans are compliant and meet the minimum set of standards required by healthcare reform to have a plan in place.
So the people that's going to have the biggest impact on, was it 30-something million that were uninsured?
Good point.
Is that okay? And then also maybe small business, I'd imagine, as they're making decisions on whether to be on the exchange or off the exchange. Is that?
Yeah, it's difficult to sum this up in a 10-minute thing, because I have presentations that take literally 6 hours to go through this. But if you're a small employer, there's a couple different segments. There's the individual, there's the small employer market, which is 2 enrolled lives to 50, and then there's over 50 lives. So there's 3 different segments of the market.
So single, 2 to 50 business, over 50.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
That's the different segments in the marketplace, and there is a requirement for employers over 50 to have pay or play, which there's going to be a penalty in 2015 if they don't have an affordable plan or pay enough towards their employee's plan. And then for the 2 to 50, they don't have to offer coverage if they don't want to. So a small employer can say, I don't want to, and put everybody on the exchange.
I see.
And then,
so they still have insurance, it's just through the exchange?
Yes, through the exchange. Now, make sure when you're dealing with somebody who's licensed by the Maryland Health Connection, which is the way that they've done away with the name exchange because they didn't find it user-friendly, so they called themselves the Maryland Health Connection, and make sure you're dealing with a licensed broker when you're dealing with those plans. One important note I want to make for individuals is you can go on the exchange or off the exchange and get the same, the plan that's on the exchange has to be the same price and the same plan design as off the exchange. Basically, the real reason you want to go through the exchange, in my opinion, is if you qualify for a subsidy.
Okay, so the benefits and the way the plan looks on the exchange or off the exchange has to be the same. The difference is if you could qualify for a subsidy, which is a tax break, is that?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
If you get a subsidy for your premiums, or if you qualify certain levels, you can also get a subsidy for your coverage as well.
Help pay for some of the premiums?
Yes.
Okay. What's a general rule of thumb as far as whether you would qualify for those or not?
Well, the letter of the law says you can make up to $45,000 as a single and still receive a subsidy to purchase insurance through the exchange.
Okay.
How that relates is if you spend more than 9.5% of your household income, and this is for individuals, different from groups, if you spend more than 9.5% of your household income on insurance, that portion is eligible for a subsidy if you make less than $45,000 a year. I know that sounds confusing. That's probably why you want to get with a licensed navigator through the Calvert Healthcare Solutions, or get with a licensed Maryland Health Connection broker, which my office is, and there's several other agencies in St. Mary's County that are licensed, Maryland Health Connection.
So $45,000 for single. What's married?
Married, it's increased amount. I think a family of 4 can get a subsidy for up to $92,000.
So it's based on how many family members?
Yes, there's also, that's why it gets real complicated. It's so hard to go into it here in this limited time we have in there.
Sure.
But make sure you get with a licensed broker. If you qualify for subsidy, I would say go through the exchange. But if your employer, a good general rule of thumb, if you make more than $30,000 a year and your employer pays more than 50% of like your employee-only cost, I think you're probably better off staying on the employer plan. The last thing I'll kind of leave with is be patient with the Maryland Health Connection. I know you hear a lot of stuff out in the news, and hopefully by the time this airs, they're going to have some of the glitches figured out, because the first person in Delaware took 7 hours to get through it. So they're working on it hardcore, they're working overnight, so be patient with them and get with somebody who's licensed and knows what they're doing so they can walk you through this process.
Excellent. Hey, Dave, I want to thank you on behalf of the audience and for your time today. Obviously extraordinarily knowledgeable, and there's a lot to deal with this. I want to thank our audience for joining us today on Money Matters, Metrocast Channel 10. I'm your host, Ed Turbush. Have a great day. The Lexington Park Rotary Club is proud to present this program in the quest for service above self to our local Southern Maryland community. The mission of Rotary is to provide service to others, promote integrity, and advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through its fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. If you're interested in learning more about your local Rotary Club, please contact us at 301-373-2780 or visit our website at www.rotarylp.org.